fuck are you doing?
Oh, so I'm trying to gain some muscle, but I don't want to gain fat. So peanut butter. Right?
You have no idea what you're doing.
Okay.
All right, listen, check it out. I'm about to show you guys how you can build muscle without putting on fat. All right, put on that muscle mass, but stay lean at the same time. I'm gonna show you how to do it in this video. Let's go. All right, so a big mistake a lot of guys make. You see it. You see women do this too? Not so much women. You do.
Yeah, a little bit.
Guys, they just eat too much. They go too hard to put on muscle and they end up getting fat. Or worse yet, they do what's called the dirty bulk, where they just try to get as fat as possible to put on as much muscle as possible. Now, here's what happens. They get fat as hell, like a bodybuilder, right? But they're not bodybuilders, they're just guys. Then they have to try to cut that fat away. In the process, they end up losing a lot of muscle, and they start off close to where they started, and they keep the charade up continuously for years and get almost nowhere. But Brandon, how come bodybuilders do it? All right, there's a few reasons. One, bodybuilders have what's called the off season. So you'll see some of these guys training in the off season. They'll have the hoods on, and it'll be because they're all fat and they're wearing those sweatsuits, you know, big sweaters and shit. You and I don't have an off season in our lives, right? So we can't afford to get fat. Plus, they have drugs that help them put on less fat than they would have. Different drugs when they're cutting that help them maintain more muscle when they're cutting. You're not doing that, so you're not gonna be able to get the same results, right? And that's why you don't get the same results. Here's how you put on muscle without putting on fat. Bella, you've been able to do it too. This works for women too. Yeah. Bella used to be gross, bro. She used to have like no curves. Now look at her, right? Ow, ow, ow. And you got a six pack too. Show them the six pack. Yep. Right. So she's able to do it. I'm gonna show you guys how. All right.
For men and women.
Men and women. All right, so check this out. First of all, you don't want to get fat. And let me tell you why real quick. Because when your body fat goes over 15% body fat, you become less sensitive to insulin. That will impair protein synthesis. If your body's not synthesizing protein the way you want it to, then you won't be able to put on as much muscle. I don't want to get too scientific. I don't want to get too scientifical on you. Just know that after 15% body fat, your insulin sensitivity is decreased. So you won't be able to put on as much muscle. You won't be able to use nutrients as effectively. Meaning you'll be putting on less muscle and putting on more fat. Another good reason to not get fat, and people always arguing with me when I say this, but who's ever editing this video is going to throw up a study that show to corroborate what I'm saying. This is how gaining fat works. This is a fat cell right here, ball. And you start getting fat, and it just grows. It grows. Then it grows to the point where it fucking splits, it divides. Then it grows, and it splits and divides. Once your fat cells divide and you get new fat cells, they do not go away. I know after years and years, the fat cells will die. But what happens is you set a new baseline for yourself. Your body says, oh, this is how much fat I have. So once you start getting fat and you start getting new fat cells, forever, it will be easier for you to get fat and harder for you to stay lean. So it's best to not get fat for that alone. It's to try not to get fat. I know that can be discouraging for someone who is fat watching this, but here's the thing, you can still shrink those fat cells. I'm just saying it's gonna be harder for you forever. It's not an excuse. I'm just telling you guys right now, we're trying to build muscle. You don't want to make it hard on yourself. Pause. So this is what you want to do. I like this calculation. All right, I take my body weight in pounds and multiply by what?
20.
By 20. All right, so I'm 200 pounds of rock hard, solid muscle. All right, so that puts me at 4,000 calories. That's pretty aggressive, though. You got to remember. It's
not hard.
But you also got to remember, I go hard. I go hard, so I burn a lot of calories throughout the day, so it works well for me. You want to be more conservative? You can put yourself at a 10% surplus, meaning take your maintenance calories. So for me, my maintenance is about 3,000 calories, and I just go 10% over that, which would put me at 3,300 calories per day. That's very conservative. I don't think that's enough for me with how much I move. You know, like I move around, I burn a lot of calories. So
for some women, this is like really helpful. This is like something I would recommend to them.
That like for like most women or someone who's more sedentary, that might be a better option for you. But that's all you really need. You don't need like crazy amount of calories to build muscle. You definitely do need to be in a surplus though. Some people try to tell you that you can build muscle in a deficit, and those people are either lying or they're ignorant or they're trying to sell you something. Unless you're just starting out or you're on drugs, it's not gonna happen. Some people will say you just need a magical amount of protein. Some people will just say that you all you gotta do is get stronger, but like, listen, that's bullshit too. Who are the strongest people in the world? Powerlifters. Their whole job is to get stronger without putting on weight. Like you can definitely get stronger without putting on weight. Or any like combat fighters and shit, they want to get stronger, they want to build strength, but they want to stay in their weight class, right? You can definitely build strength without putting on size. Strength doesn't always equal size, right? I mean, it can, but it's best if it does within the context of a caloric surplus. Because when you're in the caloric surplus, you're going to be, your testosterone will be higher. You're also going to synthesize protein a lot better.
It's also going to be faster.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get the most out of your workout.
But that's not just eat a bunch of peanut butter or a bunch of just shove spoon in my I'm bulking, bro. I'm bulking. No, dummy. You just need to be in a pretty conservative surplus. Me, I go a little more aggressive, but I move around more. So here's one thing you guys want to do. You want to actually track your NEAT, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, meaning how much you just move around a day, like how much you're walking. Like I'm in New York, so I do a lot of walking. I can easily burn between 500 and 1,000 extra calories just outside of the gym, just walking around, because I walk around so much. If I don't account for that, then I won't put on the muscle mass. So like I like to use my Apple Watch. It syncs with my FitnessPal. So if my goal is 4,000 calories, it'll subtract like my movement and my exercise. Right, so I'm like, oh, listen, I might actually have to eat to hit 4,000. I might have to eat more than 4,000.
Exactly.
Like me, I might have to eat more than 4,000. If I'm trying to hit 3,300, then I'm definitely probably gonna have to eat way more than 3,300 because my watch is gonna show me how much I burnt both in the gym and just walking around. All right, listen, guys, I hope that helps. Listen, follow me on the gram. Also, if you want some more free advice, more free tips, also subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and hit that little notification bell.
Hit that notification button. All right, guys. Peace.